Good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And shout out to those single dads out there who had to be mother and father, like Mr. Audioitis. Hope everyone is doing great this Sunday morning. I myself have been a little sick over the night. My stomach is not acting right, which is unusual for me. I usually have a pretty rock gut, but it's not been great over the night. Good morning, Mr. TC, Mr. Audioitis, Mr. Co-Bunny, Mr. Wanna Know Why Knives, and Mr. Whalen. Hey, Mr. Whalen. Mr. Wanna Know Why Knives commented on one of my videos last night that he needs to get a titanium knife. And I mentioned one of my other brothers in here once said that to me, and I helped facilitate to make that happen, and now he's addicted. So y'all have something in common. It's a slippery slope to go down. Once you go titanium, you don't go back. I guess you do a little bit here and there, but thank you, Mr. Audioitis. I'm sure I'll be all right. So, just a reminder, everybody make sure that they're caught up with the live by either clicking the live button or refreshing the stream or sliding the little slider bar all the way to the right. But being synced up with the stream is super important when I'm going over stuff because I miss comments if you're not in sync with me. So, what did I carry last night? Well, I carried my Lemifshi Mojave, which I literally have this knife tuned perfectly. Perfect hydraulic shut. Whatever speed you close the blade at is what speed it maintains the whole way. Man, it feels so good. So I'm loving this thing. I have caught myself using the flipper tab quite a bit on it. So as much as I like the fuller, I will probably leave the flipper tab on this knife. I might make it a little smaller. It's pretty small as it is. It has good jimping on it. But I had that in my front pocket. I think Co-Bunny, I don't think he was talking about a fixie. I think he was talking about a fix as in a cure for his addiction. So in my back pocket, I had my BMK Knives Ether that I got back from Ed. And man, this is the sleeper of the year. This knife, Bestech did an excellent job on this knife. And if I had to recommend one that somebody should check out if they like the blade shape, it would be this one. I've got it tuned and dialed in to where it's perfectly hydraulic also. So I made a post last night about how I feel that learning how to tune your knives is one of the most important aspects to this hobby. Because once you learn how you like your knives, being able to make all your folding knives feel that way can fix a lot of problems. It's not possible with 100% of knives, but I'd say you can get it down to a good 95% or above if you know what you're doing. Yeah, Wild Lance is a common Amazon. I've got a couple of Wild Lance folding knives. Good morning, Mr. Drummer. Popped out for Mother's Day. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Did you take a little hiatus again from the hobby? Here's a knife for you, Co-Bunny. It's a great size. I know it's big enough for you. So I think you'd like it. There you go. On the beach right now. Can't beat that. This is actually a folding knife, not a fixed blade. So you can make it even bigger by folding it. Good morning, Mr. Dalton. Hope you're doing well, sir. I've got some stuff I want to look at today. Starting with something I find kind of interesting. Sharpening your knives. Is also a very important part of this hobby, and learning how to sharpen, especially if you haven't sharpened before, can be fairly easy with fixed angle sharpeners nowadays. And yeah, sorry, I was reading a text. My mother actually responded to my Happy Mother's Day text this morning. So, but yeah, with fixed angle sharpeners nowadays, it is pretty easy to learn how. And the only problem with fixed angle sharpeners is you have to use the stones that come with fixed angled sharpeners. Good morning, Mr. Andrew. And those stones are not, well, they've gotten better over the years with the CBN stones and bonded stones in general. But they're not as good big, full-size sharpening stones. So I found a product that lets you use regular sharpening stones, but have a fixed angle type setup. Really simple. And it's pretty dang awesome. So I thought we would take a look at that first this morning. So let me just show the video here so you can understand what's going on. Video aborted. Okay, let's try that again. All right. So as long as you're on a flat surface like a table, you can set your angle and attach your knife to it, and you run it back and forth on the little nub end of this rod, and it keeps the stone the exact same height. Let's try this other one, see if the video works for it. So as long as you keep the thing level, it allows you to flip it and keep the same angle. And you can get really good with your regular stone, and you can set whatever angle you like. And the coolest part is they offer a few different options. So they offer the one with one single clamp. It's made out of nice aluminum. Then they have one that's got 2 posts on it and a single clamp, but and it's also made of aluminum. And then they have a double clamp version for larger knives. But yeah, super cool idea. Allows you to use your regular stones. Check out this guy. This picture, this guy didn't know which side of the knife he was supposed to be sharpening, did he? That's so funny. At least this guy did it right. But yeah, pretty cool idea. Have to make sure you're on a flat surface, like I said. Yeah, Audioitis, I agree about putting a smile on your blade. You have to learn what to do on the edges. I mean, on the corners, like at the choil, sharpening choil, and at the tip of the knife. You have to kind of learn how to use your fixed angle sharpener. Look up any stone. All right, Mr. Andrew. Yeah, he was putting an angle on the spine. That's so funny. That just kind of goes to show you that these knife people in China don't know much about knives. Any stone, I guess, lets you use any stone. Hence the name of it. And there you go. Basically the exact same thing. $65 as opposed to $14. But yes. And I almost like the adjustments on that other one better than this get up here. It almost seems like something in there might fail when this one is just straight up a bolt and lock nuts, which you could replace yourself if need be. But yeah, I like it for $14, but the Any Stone is cool too. Same exact idea. And as long as you're keeping your knife pressed firmly to the stone, you shouldn't have to worry about it angling. That one point is, you're kind of making a triangle with the knife and that one point. So it doesn't really need to be a triangle because you're making a triangle as long as you keep both of these 2 points of the blade locked against the stone. Co-Bunny, what do you mean you doubt they make a mistake like that? They did make a mistake like that. Like, they literally did make a mistake. Being an intelligent person doesn't mean you know about knives. They are not synonymous. Good morning, Brown Sugar. If y'all don't mind, I'll hitting the thumbs up. Help a brother out. That'd be awesome. I don't think so. I think an AI might have combined the 2 pictures But I think that knife is really clamped onto that clamp. And that knife is really clamped onto that clamp. But you could be right. What's up with this one? You have to set both sides of it when you flip it over. This one doesn't come with the automatic rotating thing. That's a good feature. Because this one, when you flip it over, you're going to have a different angle. You could possibly have a different angle. So I don't like that one. So definitely get one of the ones that rotates, like that one or that one. I think I might grab one to see how they are. Good morning, David. Good morning, Ill Knives. I don't think the clamp would hit the stone at the right, as long as you had a 15 or above angle. It shouldn't. In fact, I don't think. No, it can't hit it because of the angle. If this is high enough that the blade is touching, then I don't think it would. You wouldn't be able to put the stone on a base or anything because that might change it. But I think as long as you just use the stone, you'd be all right. No, he did it. He showed on the video, Waylon. He gets to the point of the blade. Watch. Let's watch the video again, and he gets to the point of it. He's able to get to the point. I don't know. We'll have to get one and try. I'll get one and try it out and see if I can get the point. And couldn't you just run it down the... Yeah, you could just run it down the one side. As long as you were at an angle. You couldn't get it straight on, but you could get it at a little angle. We could try to attempt to simulate it. Let's see. If we had this, we had the blade clamped in something in the middle here. I think you can get at an angle like this. I don't think you'd be able to do, and you might be able to just go straight back like that. But I think when he had it like this, you wouldn't be able to. But I think you could do it like this. But I'm not sure. I can't. I need to clamp something onto it. Because here's the clamp. And the little pin will be back here. Hold on. I can almost make this work. All right, so that's about what we got, right? So I think you could just hit the... You should be able to hit the tip all the way up until you get to... I don't know, you're going to be hitting this at some point. But I think you could do the tip down here on this end of the stone. I don't know. We'll have to get one and see. It seems like it should work. No, it just slides back and forth, Ill Knives. It's just a cap. It's just a bolt cap. It's just the end for a bolt. It's just a rounded cap. You can see it there. It's just those little end caps for bolts. You can see it up there on the top in that picture. So it just slides back and forth. All right. I think we spent enough time on this sharpener. Yeah, Co-Bunny, sharpening with just a stone is very hard for beginners. That's why the fixed angle sharpeners have come into use so heavily. See you later, Andrew. Have a good one, buddy. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, the bottom of your coffee mug or the window in your car works too. But ceramic, yeah, coffee cups work great. Yeah, that is the best to learn how to use a stone, but that's not reality nowadays. A lot of people lose dexterity as they get older. A lot of people, have some kind of shake, and that's a skill that takes the barrier to entry is high on learning how to use a stone properly and keep angles correctly. And it's a motor function that as you do it, you get more and more used to it, but it takes time to get your body to learn that. So yes, best case scenario, if you don't have anything that affects your dexterity and you have the time to put in to learn, then of course that's the best way. That's why they make crazy expensive Japanese stones that are real. But yeah, fixed angle sharpeners are such an easier product for everyone to use. All right, what else did I have? Oh, I wanted to talk about this guy's top 5 favorites. And I don't know what some of them are, so I want to find out though. I can tell the middle one by the pivot. I know this one. I know this second one. I know the second and third one. And I think, man, I know the fourth one. It's just a different, that Damasteel is killing me. But the fourth and fifth one, whoops, y'all ain't even seeing yet. All right, sorry. I can tell what the middle one is by the pivot, and this other one probably is too by this pivot. And the third one is too. I bet all 3 of these are made by, whoops. I can't even spell. Michael Raymond made all 3 of these, I bet, on the right. NCC. And then what's this first one? Is that a wear? No, I don't know what that one is. Why are they on the back of his hand? Is that the back of his hand? No, that's his palm. I guess most people think they need to hold stuff up for pictures. I don't think I've ever tried to balance 5 knives across my palm, especially big knives. I don't even have 5 knives out anymore. I put them all up. There's a littler one. I can't even. Yeah, I don't know why he did that. Yeah, it looks like a wear, doesn't it? I need to go back and figure that out, though. But Michael Raymond made all those other ones, huh? I forgot I had the Tri-Stash out. That's another new knife I got that I haven't carried. Wear symbol always messes me up because it looks like an M. I think it's upside down. I think that is a wear. But man, talk about beautiful frame locks. He has a nice collection. All right, Google Lens, help me out here, buddy. All right. Nope. It's showing me the Rossetti, the Nirvana. Dang. I knew it wouldn't be able to find it. It's showing me pictures of the Nirvana just like crazy. And I'm like, this one doesn't have a blade hole. Every one of the ones they're showing me, all right, let's try this third one. Hold on just a second. Dang it. All right, that's got to be. Oh, that's a Maverick. That's a Maverick Wren. The far right one. All right, hold on. Let me get back to the right browser. The far right one is one of these. That's the pivot. Yeah, that's the blade grind. Oh, and that's the same. That's the same pattern and everything. You just can't see the pattern. All right, so that's that knife. Maverick Wren. Maverick Concepts Carbo Tie Wren. That's pretty wild. Nick Marshall makes the Maverick. Maverick Concepts. We are already following him. So the Wren is one of his. All right. So now I got to figure out if both of these are Michael Raymond. I know the middle one is. I'm pretty sure. But let me do a little checking over here again. See if I can figure out what the one with the what Damasteel is. Google saved me on that one. All right, yeah. Found it. Grail achieved. Mavericks Spectrum. Wow. So it's a Mavericks Spectrum. And the post for it is right here. Well, dang it. Here's the post. That's not the same one. It says Grail achieved. Hold on just a second. Working two browsers can be a pain in the butt. All right, so there's that exact knife. There's the other side of it. So we got the Maverick Spectrum and the Maverick. Dang it, what was the other one called? Maverick Wren and the Maverick Spectrum. All right, so what's the middle one? It's got to be a Maverick or a Michael Raymond. The Ragnarok is sticking through. I knew that was a Ragnarok. NCC. What's going on here? All right, act right, computer. Yeah, that one's got too many other knives wrapped around it. I don't know what the other one, the middle one is. It's probably a Maverick too. Wow, a lot of these are integrals. Or where's the pivot? Those are cool pivots, but where's the pivot? All these must be integral. Wow. That's a pretty knife. Maverick must, I mean, all these you can't see the pivot. Yeah, it says solid 705 Zerk integral frame. 3.3-inch Wren. Yeah, the Wren, that's Grail. I just found a new Grail list. Add on. So I need to add Wren to my knife swap alerts. Dang. Lockside collar acts as an over travel as well. Oh, okay. So the pivot collar that he put over the pivot acts as the over travel stop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you see that right there. That's pretty wild. Not a single flipper tab? Is that right? Good call, mister. Uh-oh. What about these cutout corners? Could this one have one? They might. A few of them could have a flipper tab. All four of these, the four right ones, could have a little tab up there in that cutout corner. But no flipper tab on that corner, so nope. That one doesn't have one. The far right one. Speaking of flipper tabs, I mentioned yesterday that Mr. Winter Pudding was supposed to come out with new blades for the Mini Cortex. And I actually got pictures last night from him of the different blades he's in the process of making. And let me send them over to the Discord so I can display them to you. Hold on just a second. So I mentioned he was going to make a front flipper like the XL, and he sent me renderings of the blades. He said end of July. So there's the rendering for the top flipper. There's the other side of it. And he's also going to do this front flipper. So he's going to do both the top and the front. So those are going to be pretty sweet looking knives. Ill Knives. How do they do that on the inside of the scales? How do they keep the frame lock or the liner lock? They have dual over travel stops. Well, it can't go in if the blade. I'm confused. You don't need an over travel stop when the blade's open because the lock bar or the liner is against the blade. And when it's closed, it's also against the blade. Good morning, Tristan. Yeah, I like the top one because you can reach it from the other side of the knife. But I like the way it. I like the way this knife looks better. Yeah, July is when he said they would be coming in. I actually just put up all the knives that were on the table, and the Cortex were one of them. But there's the same little. But you can reach it there, and you can do it this way. It doesn't feel as good though. So it's definitely not a front flipper. I mean, you can almost get it with just the jimping. If you can get to the jimping, you can kind of front flip it, but it's more of a reach around. It's more like a flipper tab. So yeah, I prefer a front flipper like that where you can actually front flip it, but yeah, I like a front flipper like that, even if it's a little one like he put on. Does the Tri-Stash have one? Yeah, it's got a big one. I kind of prefer the trying to see what else has one. Ill Knives, show me a picture of what you're talking about so I can understand you. Good morning, Mr. Cliff. Morning, Mr. Tristan. The jimping sucks on yours. I wonder if they did it. It doesn't. It's not too bad. It is kind of slippery. it's so easy as long as you push down on it. Huh. Weird. It almost feels the same as the smock. It's basically the same kind of feel. It's basically like a flipper tab. It does make a good sound, though. All right. If y'all wouldn't mind smashing that like button, help a brother out. Happy Mother's Day again to all the mothers out there and all the single dads that were both. Good morning, Mr. Robin. We've been looking at some heaters this morning. Mr. Robin, we're still looking at them. Grails achieved. Mr. Robin, do you know what the far left knife is? I think it's some kind of wear. Let's go find it. WHER Knives. WHWEHR, I mean. WEHR Knives. All right, is that his logo to begin with? I don't think so. No. He does the full wear signature. Love his stuff, though. That symbol should tell us what it is. It's an M for sure. I know the Ragnarok. It's definitely an M. Corbin Steelworks logo is different. It's his whole name. I don't know how he spells it. Corbin Steelworks logo is he doesn't have it. I think it's that top sticker. I think it's that whole sticker up there. It's something like that. I'm not sure what it is. Could be a millet. Yeah, let's go check that. Yeah, I bet it's a custom millet. Because the M looks similar, but that looks like a production. Yeah, that's his. It's got the little notch above it. I think it's probably. It's too close to not be a millet. Yeah. I bet it's a millet. I bet he says in the article, and we're just guessing. I bet we could have learned. I just wanted to go through and try to figure it out before we read it. American. All three of the right ones are Maverick, a Prism, a Spectrum, and a Wren, and then a Ragnarok. We knew the Ragnarok. American. I should have known that too. Karma. Who is this? Who is that? Big Jake Wright. Well, here we go, Mr. Jake. Thank you.
Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have a full review to do for you on what is probably one of the coolest knives I've ever owned. I think quite a few people would argue it's the coolest knife I've ever owned, based on the number of people who went.
All right, I don't like these kind of reviews
to look at. And
man, what a beautiful knife. American Karma. Show me the clip. I don't know that I like these kind of videos, but clip looks super nice too. It might be a little big. Let's see that picture when he holds it up. Yeah, clip is a little long on it. Goes past halfway. American Karma. Super cool compound ground blade. And he didn't put a recurve on it. Most of those would have a recurve, but that one looks pretty straight. It might have the tiniest bit of recurve, but it's a man after my own heart. I think he tried to keep it straight. Yep. So, anyway, Maverick Prism. That Prism, it's funny that Michael Raymond and him use the same pivots. That one has a little bit different pivot. Boy, that blade finish is sick. I don't like it. Norris Frequency Damasteel. I like that one.
Hey, welcome back. I recently just got back from the PNWCI knife show. What he said about the finish, I want to say it was like some sort of Cerakote or something. I cannot remember what it was, but basically has something like added onto there, and it's just amazing. Really, really
wow,
cool.
that finish did look sick.
See if I can hop in there.
It almost looked like bed liner, like
these are made by,
what's that stuff?
Bear with me.
Dino liner? What am I thinking of? That bed liner material? Rhino liner?
No.
Rhino liner. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Come on.
Knife. Let's take a look at why. I think a big piece of it is that when you make a knife,
wow, that's a cool texture.
Flow together. And one of the things that really stands out to me on this is everything just really flows together very nicely.
That finish is sick.
The bolster being Zerk on the pivot hardware. Let me double check everything.
Zerk on the pivot hardware.
Tie, black Damascus. Yeah, I think these are all like Zerk. And yeah, just the overall build, I think, is pretty remarkable. Now, this is not only an integral, it's an integral with a, like an integrated liner lock, or I'm sorry, integrated frame lock. So much less
bolster
likely
lock
to hit the lock bar when you are deploying it, which is awesome. Really great action, but it's very easy to just grab it, kind of around here or whatever, really almost anywhere, except for if you were to grab just the very ridge here, then you could potentially get yourself a little lock bar pressure if you were to put your finger all the way onto there. But generally, not a problem. Of course, I just do it right there. Yeah, and just really snappy action on this thing.
It's a beautiful knife.
Much lighter detent. It also acts as the stop pin, but there's also an internal stop pin. Wait, am I seeing that right? Is that a backspacer or? Yeah, sorry, I just did that off screen, but you can see that.
How did he get that pin in there?
I'm just not 100% sure what it does, to be honest.
Oh, it's behind the inlay.
Oh, it acts as the forward stop pin, so it stops the blade from swinging further this way. And then this acts as the stop pin for the back. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, and then this one catches, I guess. If you get any momentum at all, has like
the bolster lock
weight to it.
Almost has the same double over travel stop you were talking about. Kind of.
I got two.
Might as well look at the Asuka.
You see him.
I possibly can, and background information and stories about the maker behind it. However, this time around, I'm finding that to be quite a challenge because there's almost no information about this knife online except for the one auction post that they made about it on their Instagram when they were selling it. And the business website for Maverick Concepts has an extremely limited About Us section, which basically only says that each knife is made by hand, the maker's first name, Nick. I guess the single name thing works if you're super famous, Oprah, but if you're not Cher, it may not. And that he's a family man with a picture of his super adorable young son named Maverick, and that he tends to drink beer when he's not making knives. Nick, not Maverick. Even though there isn't a lot of info to work with, I think it's very much
top
worth a
one you're
look
pointing to
because
can never touch
it's
the
a damn
blade.
slick knife and seemingly well made. Huge thanks once again to my buddy Derek, who
Still
lent me
confused.
this knife in a large group of knives in order to make videos
Hold
on
on,
overviews
I got
and
stuff
reviews.
going everywhere.
So I think you should definitely go.
This top one, it can never touch the blade. So I'm confused at what it does. It's just an inset lock bar, really. So when the knife's closed, it couldn't ever touch the blade. And when it's locked up, it can't ever touch the blade either. So I'm confused at how that top one is doing anything other than just letting the blade hide behind the lock bar. But it doesn't ever hit anything. Unless I'm looking at it wrong. Oh, so like you're talking about pushing the lock bar all the way across the blade? Wow. Now I kind of get it. But man, if your lock bar goes across the blade, you got issues. I've had some knives that were up close to like 80 and 90%, but they would definitely not go all the way across the blade. Yeah, I think it's just to cover that gap. It can't fix lock rock, and it could cause lock rock. So if this knife went all the way over to where that piece hit, it's not going to make the knife lock up. What knife is that on? Yeah, what knife is that on? But you could still get lock rock with that. If your knife didn't lock up till like 80%. But you're getting a Shiro, so it better lock up at 20%. Is that on a quantum or? I'm over here looking at my Shiros because I'm trying to find one that has it. Mine are all fake, so I doubt I'm going to have one with it. Wow, that one's different. So is that one. Both of those Shiros have a weird lockup. Their lock bar inserts stick way out. I think this one has it. I think this one has it. I think this F3NS. See if we can tell if this one has it. Dang it. I think it's got a little lip. I think the lock bar sits back a little bit from that. I think it's inside that outside piece. Or maybe it's just the way it's shaped. Yeah, that's a tri-stash. That one I think almost has it. But maybe not. The Rat and the Cards 5. Oh, there we go. The Lee Kickstop has it. There's the Lee Kickstop with it. I think that's the Lee Kickstop. Yeah. That one has it. All right, then. It would have to be locked up at like past 50% for that to hit. Huh. Well, there you go. Same thing. Might as well leave that out on the table since I went all the way to the case to get it. Doggone Mountain, thank you, sir, for the input. Benchmade 765 has it. I appreciate all the input and knowledge people bring. I'm always down to learn something. I try to figure things out as we go, so it might take me a minute, but I'm not just gonna. I'm gonna try to understand it while we look at it. Hope y'all would do the same. Yeah, it does kind of have it, huh? It sticks out past it a little bit. Good call. What is that knife, by the way? Because I like that knife. What is the 765? Dang. Why is that such a cool looking knife to me? That might quite possibly be the best Benchmade ever made. Holy cow, where's the non-mini version? Right there. That might be quite possibly be the best Benchmade knife ever made. That looks like a real knife. And it's titanium. What the heck? Yeah, that's what I was going to show with the Rat. and the Cards 5, I believe. The Rat and the Cards 5 Sheros. I mean, not Shero, sorry, Greenthorn. The lock bars on these stick way out past the side. And they go behind the frame. So there's a cutout that they slide into in the frame, which is pretty wild. That lock bar insert goes into the frame, and there's a knot, has to be a notch on the inside of that frame for it to go into. He said, I got to get one today. Yeah, that is the best Benchmade I've ever seen. And the same with this one. This one has, it sticks out proud, but they put the cutout where you can see it. And this is the Cards 5. Super cool little knives. This one's got it's the Vegas Cards 5. It's got the V and the cards on it. Both of those are super cool clones, though. Yeah, I like the one track mine. The Gracchus, just something about the blade. Every time we've looked at it, something's been off. I just can't get. Let's go look at it again because I can't remember exactly. The blade's too wide or big, yeah. It's like a Nessmuck or something. Got too much blade for me. But hey, man, more power to you. I like some stupid knives that other people hate. And that's definitely a cool knife. I mean, it's just got a little too much blade. B Shady's got a SOCOM this morning. I do like the ire, though. What is the T1 clone of what knife, Ill Knives? You just said overbuilt clones. Yeah, it does have too much handle compared to blade. 6-inch handle, 3-inch blade. Yeah, when you look at it on screen like that. You said overbuilt clones, but clones of what? That's pretty sexy, though. That's real sexy. Have you bought one of those overbuilt clones called the T1? Oh, yeah, I've got one of those. Where is my T1? I should know where it is. Although I always put it somewhere and forget what I've done with it. Hold on, let me look right here. Well, I don't know where my stupid Miller Brothers knife is. Dang, I have not seen it in a while. Good call on that. Could have sworn it was up here on this table. but I don't see it. Wow, have I really lost a knife? I might have actually lost a knife. Mr. Ed has like 3 of them. I've got one somewhere. It's in a big black box. It's still in the box. Yeah. Mr. Ed, I bet if I go to the Discord and I type in Miller, there we go. Here's Mr. Ed's that he posted on the Discord one day. I've got that's one of them. There's another one that I saw more recently. And there's all 3 of them. There you go. I was about to say Miller Brothers, if that's what you were asking about the T1. I've got I think I've got that one right there. The bottom one, the far right one. Oh, and by the way, speaking of SOCOMs, Pete got a new SOCOM, and I found these that didn't look very bad at all. The fixed blade and the material on them looks pretty decent. And I bought one of those, and I bought the little fixed blade SOCOM. But I got this for $13.25. I mean, it's got the same hardware and everything everywhere. Pretty wild. But right after I clicked on it, it went up to $28. So somehow I got the only one for that price, or $26. But the material on it actually looks pretty decent. Like the carbon fiber and the hole, like, it actually doesn't look too bad. Which is pretty wild. So I got one of those on the way. And one of these on the way to check out. Be Shady, I have not seen that, but Raven the Pirate's Chavez is my favorite version of the new Chavez Integrals. Sorry, I couldn't talk. I was trying to read and talk. But yeah, Raven the Pirate's knife for Chavez is pretty dang sweet. So what are we looking at here? What's it called? The Halo? Wow, that thing's pretty crazy. It's got the auto watch winders and everything. The Halo, huh? Ah, there it is. $250 pieces. Halos are live now. All right, what's the website? The Halo out now. That tiny Spidey one is not tiny at all. And what was the number for it? I do not remember what the number was. Yeah, that thing's pretty cool. The kickstand. I would need too many of them. That's the only problem. What am I doing here? Trying to... Well, dang it. Figure out what that knife is. I'm having some issues here. Give me just a second. All right, it is a C270. Yeah, that's a cool case. LED lighting and all. It's got a 3.2-inch blade. Overall length is 7.5 inches. And the thickness, let's go watch a YouTube video of it.
Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a video for you about this little guy right here. This is the Spyderco NAND. Very, very interesting, very, very nerdily named pocket knife. But first off, actually, before I go any further, I gotta let you know that Spyderco sent this guy to me. They reached out to me some time back, said, "Hey Nick, anything you're interested in?" I said, "Yeah, actually, I'm curious about the NAND," and they said, "Yeah, absolutely." And that's a
Crab Castle Forge.
And as always, though, they know I'm going to talk about the good, the great, the bad, the ugly. It might be a junk,
right.
It might be junk.
I'm going to post that in the...
Nonetheless, we do have to assume this is the very best quality controlled one of these guys ever, although Spyderco in the past has sent me some things that were not the very best quality controlled ever, so I'm assuming they're on the straight and narrow there.
Put that in the Discord so I'll remember
I'm doing
it.
my absolute best not to let this affect the nature or the quality of my review. Next thing, let's do some size comparison real quick. Right here, this guy is against an Ontario Rat number 2, and so what we're going to see here is that this is actually not small. I kind of hoped, I thought initially when I was, ordering this, so to speak, that this was going to be a small knife, but it really isn't. It is a pretty decently sized knife. Here it is against your Spyderco Delica. What we're going to see here is that although the handle is actually a fairly similar size to the Delica, the blade's a little bit longer. And then here it is against the Spyderco PM2. And what we see here is, this is, in terms of sharpened blade length, actually, it's a little bit shorter. And overall blade length, just a little bit shorter. But it is not a tiny knife. I kind of initially thought about this as being a little baby front flipper sort of affair, but actually it is not remotely those things. So there is that. Paul Alexander's stuff is just strange, right? And he's been doing this for a while, although not he's not one of those super prolific designers, right, where it's a new thing every 10 seconds. But like, he did the Spyderco Ouroboros, which was weird. What is that? So it's just a washer, but it looks like a steel washer. It's interesting. It's sure steel-colored. Anyways, so it's Paul Alexander doing the work here, and that kind of shows because this knife is weird. And if we look at the inside of this knife, actually, it's weird, right? There are a couple of things that we can notice. First off, there are these little cutouts.
How does it lock up?
But there are also some internal skeletonization sorts of things which make this knife even lighter than it might have otherwise been, which is a beautiful thing. By the way, that was a...
I still don't understand how it locks.
Screws on the side there.
Does it lock at all? I don't even think it locks. I mean, it's like a slip joint, but
just using some rubbing
I don't understand where the pressure comes from for even the slip joint part.
It's a double detent sort of system, right? So there's a detent
ball
it's
got
both
two
sides
detents.
And the detent balls will kind of drop into this hole here because this little lock bar here is compressed such that it is offset a little bit to the side here. And so, when it is wide open...
All right, so it's a double detent. That's awesome.
Into this hole, and when it is...
I thought it was like a slip joint.
The detent ball falls into this hole.
But you can flick it like a double detent.
Ends, but it doesn't
That's
lock
pretty
in
awesome.
either place. This is
it's on both sides, too.
Effectively a slip jointy sort of thing, although arguably this is...
Yeah, it's on both sides of the frame.
Definition of slip joint.
So that's awesome.
Unlock. It's right out of a bag. As well as the merit. Put this guy. Flavor is interesting. There's a burr on the side of the washer here. You can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little. It shouldn't affect anything, does it? It's not great. Italy, what are you doing? This is a knife that is made by Spyderco's Maniago factory, right?
Yeah,
it
Italy.
says right on the side of it there, Maniago, Italy. And they are the other side too. Duckfoot a little bit. Here.
Always make a figure 8 pattern instead of back and forth when you're polishing washers.
Thing, but bars and things like that. And
that's a great tip. Because if you're polishing a washer and you're on a stone like this, if you apply pressure to the washer and you slide it back and forth one direction, you will angle it. You'll push it harder on the end stroke and you'll wear off the inside of it. And the top and bottom, both sides will get thinner than the top and bottom because of the pressure. So always make a figure 8 and it evens out your washers when you're polishing your washers. If you polish your washers. But yeah, make a figure 8 instead of back and forth and up and down because it'll even out the strokes and the pressure that you apply. It won't make a little notch on one side. Anyway, just a quick tip. Let's go back to him.
And this is a case in which it's really hard.
Come on, get it back together.
My life a little easier.
I want to see the action.
Get this many damn knives.
Of the double detent.
It's worth a try, right? It's a good thing. Anyways, I digress. It'll help get you in whack. Yeah, going ahead and I'm going to it just a little bit. Oh, that really didn't have much room to loosen, did it? A very wide thread pitch for what feels to be a pretty fine adjustment. Okay, can I loosen this pivot more without getting a bunch of side-to-side play? I hope so. Because the action is not particularly better. No,
knives on washers.
Darn,
and no bearings.
Really hoping a little bit of lubrication was going to help this, but...
So you're not going to be able to front flip it. I hope the one I got is on bearings. That would be awesome.
It may just be the nature of the washers there. I don't know. I'm going to try... This is a little funky because this part sits, above the... Like it's not hidden by the scales, but I'm going to put a little bit more
That's weird, too.
Here on the detent ball path with hope that it kind of spreads it across to both sides. That didn't really help much. That's
so it's not going to be much of a front flipper.
$50 pocket knife. Remarkable. Right. But what do I feel about this guy? I think that, as I said, this plays well to Maniago's strength. If they're going to use this factory at all, the fact that this is not a knife that requires a good detent, particularly, is a good choice. There's no lockup to worry about. It's just kind of blade grinding titanium friction. That's a beautiful thing. So I think, this was a smart move to use. So that's nice.
Yeah, it's a weird knife. All right, enough of that knife. I want to go back and look at this case better. Magnetic floating display. A magnet securely holds your knife in a centered floating position behind a clear front. All right. Solid wood, metal corners, LED lighting, kickstand or wall mountable. Almost sold out, less than 40 units left. $175 per knife. Ouch. Well, I wouldn't be putting $150. I wouldn't ever put this in there because the case would be more than the knife. So this knife cannot go in that case. I love the Osborne. A lot of people hate that knife. I love that thing though. Mandalorian, the movie's coming out soon. Mandalorian clip is cool. Yeah, those Zen. I've been thinking about going to Zen. Check the 2 links I sent. William, where did you send them? You can send them right here in the chat. I can't find links. Yeah, that would be a good use for it, mister. Or you could put it on your desk at work, and every day when you came in, you could take one of your knives and put it there so you'd have one to look at all day. I got to find a home for that little crazy knife, too. It's about the same size as those other ones. Tomorrow, I get my other Arcona, the front flipper one. So that should be cool. I got to bead blast it. It's solid black, and it's got a black blade, so I'm going to take it back to titanium with the bead blaster, and I'm going to bead blast the blade, and then I'm going to polish the blade, and then I'm going to stonewash the blade, maybe. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. I might leave it just polished. Tristan, have a good day. Tell your mother I love her. I didn't mean that in any other way, but with respect. Tell your mother you love her. She's loved. How about that? I wasn't trying to say anything about your mom, man. But yeah, have a great rest of your day. Oh yeah, Zen. What do y'all think about Zen nicotine, whatever they are? Are they, they're not really patches. And I can't even spell nicotine. It's Z-Y-N. I guess they are pouches. But they're flavored pouches. That's what it is. I don't want to register. Wow. Hold on. Wow, you got to really register. Screw that. I thought I could use my Google or something. So, yeah. I think they make all the way up to like 12 milligram or something. I hear everybody using 3s and 6s. But I think they go all the way up to 12. I don't need a 12 necessarily. But has anybody tried these? I've heard you like get a buzz off of them or something crazy. Zens are legit, B Shady. Yeah, I'm sure you have to get used to it. It's got to be better than smoking. I've heard good things about them. William, send the links to the chat, buddy. Well, let me go. I can't. I'm afraid to open Instagram live on stream because I'm afraid somebody's details will be on there or something personal. So it's better to send links to me just in the chat. All right, let me get this link opened up that you sent. And then I can go back to the browser. Cliff, your brother loves it? All right, that's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with one of the most unique folding pocket knives I've ever had out to the channel. And this is also made out of incredibly nice materials, making it very functional in a wide variety of applications. If you did decide to carry this as an EDC knife, you would definitely be turning heads. What we are looking at is the brand new Damascus steel mechanical lock knife from SDOK EDC. And SDOK EDC is one of those companies that I've been purchasing and reviewing their knives for a while. And they recently discovered that I was making
Look at that channel that has to slide down through the blade.
Package of knives, and I said, absolutely, I love your products, and this was in the package. There was
that sliding channel cut through the blade is pretty wild.
Video, as well as the composition of the steel and build quality of the knives. And spoiler alert, they're built great, as well as the
spoiler alert, they're cheap.
Ship with the price of this
they're garbage
is $33. With free prime shipping. This thing is wild, and once you get the hang of opening and closing these knives, they are just a blast to have added to your collection.
I mean, for a novelty knife, maybe.
Am I going to be putting this on my belt every day?
I've got some weird novelty knives myself.
On occasions, I want to be a little bit fancy or show off to somebody with my knife collection. Having a knife like this in the collection,
but as far as a quality knife,
and
no,
practical, cool piece to have.
No, thank you.
If you did decide you wanted to carry more of a unique piece. Now, to deploy the blade on these knives, it's kind of very simple. We have a 2-hinge mechanism. We simply go down and your thumb tucks in. We break that action. We pull it down. You can see it slides down, and now we lock into place. And it's actually a very rock-solid lockup. Again, very functional use. Now, we do have the wooden handle. It looks very elegant. We've got the stainless steel liners in here. And then we have true Damascus steel. 76 grams of VG10 high carbon steel. So very good steel in this blade. And not only that, they are razor sharp out of the box, which I found very impressive. Like, they just slice through stuff. No issues whatsoever. These things will slice all day long. And that's kind of why, again, I'm talking about, hey, they've got a little bit of practicality.
This guy is definitely an Amazon reviewer.
Pull back on that same spot of the hinge. You want to make sure your hand's clear. And then that folds up. Now, for me, I am predominantly right-handed, so I'll hold the blade in my right hand, kind of.
It looks like Pakistani Damascus to me. Yeah, he sounds like an Amazon reviewer to me. Let me see what the other link you got is here, Mr. William. Oh, it was the actual link to the knife. If for some reason somebody wants that link, there it is. I'll throw it in the chat. Oh, Cliff said the same thing about the Damascus, huh? So I've got my fair share of weird, silly novelty knives, including this one, with a scope and all. And this one about cut me just a minute ago. But this one has a flashlight that you turn on by twisting it, I think. I thought you just twisted it or something. Battery's probably dead in it. Probably got left on. But it's got a little flashlight too. So I've got my fair share of silly knives. Whoa. Watch out. That thing's dangerous. The lock doesn't work. You slide that lock either direction, it doesn't work. That's no good. This thing is dangerous. I keep it in this little, I keep it holstered. You got to keep that thing holstered. Yeah, that's quality stuff. But, you know, you got to have some weird knives. Whoa. Didn't mean to go to Instagram. Damascus knife. What do we get? Well, I get some good ones. What in the world is going on with that thing? Wowie, wow, wow. That's got some craziness. Look at the color difference on the flipper part. That's pretty wild. Good morning, Dale Lane and America's Silver Patriot. Happy Mother's Day. What are they doing in China? Hey, there's one from that same company. Look, the sheath is exactly the same. Look, there's the sheath. And there's the sheath. That's a folding knife from the same kind of company. That one that slid through the handle, though, that's pretty wild. There, is that it? Yeah, that's it. It's $44 on here. That big notch through the blade, pretty wild. I knew we'd find it. I'm sure you can get it for cheaper. Wow, there's one with the from that same company with crazy blade. William, we just talked about that crazy knife that you showed. Yeah, that's some high quality craftsmanship. All right, I got to close some windows. Millet Knives. Where's his Instagram? Why am I not following Millet? And where's some of his custom stuff? Maybe he's only got the... What is this? Yeah, that's what I want to see. Some fully custom torrents. I like his style. And I'm confused about, that's what confuses me, is because the Overland X is, Schwartz knives. That's what confuses me about, that's what I've always been confused about Millet and Overland. Are they, I don't know. Why do they look so much the same? Did he design for Schwartz? That's what I'm trying to, somebody answer this for me. Why are these knives so similar? Are they both designed by the same guy? All right, that's my question. Crab Castle Forge. Okay. Sorry, Cliff. I put the note in the Discord, but I just forgot. I don't see it. Crab Castle Forge doesn't have an Instagram. Okay, maybe they do. But you can't type the word Instagram or it won't show up. All right, what's his website? Oh, that's his Threads. I don't even know what Threads is. All right, let me go back and see if he has a website. Crab Castle Forge, all right, .com. Launching soon. Aha. GoDaddy. Is this somebody you know? How did you run across Crab Castle Forge? Yeah, that's a mean looking work knife. That would be great. In Alaska. Be great all around outdoors. That's cool. How did you run across this guy? And how much are the knives? You said they were cheap. Looks like he must be new starting the knives because he's got a bunch of knives have only started here recently. Photos. Oh, okay. More knives. Yeah, did you answer me? Oh, he's in the lives and also streams? That's awesome. 180 to 250, that's good too. Waylon, he's in the background just about every day. He just doesn't talk in the chat. You're talking about Keep It Scout, Mr. Paul. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Paul is back there right now. I think he just lurks. I'm not sure why he doesn't talk to us anymore. Kind of hurts my feelings, but what do you do? Who was that new maker that I really liked that had good prices on knives? I liked this one. He had some really good prices too. They looked really comfortable. But that's not the one I'm thinking of. Let's see. It was somebody that's been on the it's going to drive me nuts now. All right. The drop point. Somebody who's been on this pretty recently. Is it the Hidden Rose Forge guy? I don't think so. No, that's the one with the slow website. It was not seeing it. It's not Bald Man, although I do like his stuff. Well, not seeing it. Dang it. I'll have to go back through and figure it out. They were definitely reasonably priced knives. I don't think it was the Hidden Rose Forge. Their website's the one that's terribly slow. Yeah, it wasn't them. I can't remember who it was. Hellbender. That's the one I wanted to check out because they were 180 bucks. That's what made me think of it, is you saying the price on that other. But these knives, I like the big choil. It looks like it'd be super comfortable. But they have a couple of different blade shapes, and I like both of them. There's this one. I like that knife. And I like this knife. Magna Cut. 180 bucks. Another great value. I actually wanted to. I don't know that we've ever even looked at their site. Hellbender Blade Co. All right, their site looks like Montana Knives. They look better on the other site. On this one, he's got some crazy patterns. It shows you how advertising, marketing is everything. Because I like the way they look over here. A lot, just the plain, I don't know. And I like the logo, okay. I don't like that bright one. I like the one that's like that. That's a cool knife. Where were we? was supposed to go. Crab, what was it? Crab, dang it. Crab Castle? Yeah, Crab Castle Forge. Oh, yeah, he still doesn't have. Let's go back to his Instagram. Crab Castle Forge. There it is. Is this a video? Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah, those look like nice skinners. Those would be great for skinners. I like his beard. He looks like a good old boy. I think he is a good old boy. Wasn't he from North Carolina or something? He's got his blocks out. There's Waylon. Waylon in a slab of aluminum. No, that's not aluminum, I don't believe, but it reminded me, I could see Waylon working on aluminum like that. That's a nice knife too. Oh, that's cool. That's a little chode. That's a robin knife. He looks like family. I've got family that looks like him. That's what I need right there. That's what everybody needs. Super cool. I like that one too. Boy, that's a thick one. Yeah, that one's cool. I just love anything custom hand built. So for $200, man, that'd be awesome. Time to make a sheath. Paul, where you at, Paul? All right, well, we're pushing the 2-hour mark this morning. Nope, you hadn't led me astray yet. I agree. Got a little angry with me today. Look at the stupid Crab Castle knives. Chip. I didn't mean stupid, I meant stupid Chip. Stupid Chip, look at Crab Castle knives. This is a little free knife I got from Tack Knives one time when I ordered something. I think it's a clone of something. They started out doing some OTFs that were clones. This one's half serrated. I'm going to do this as a giveaway knife. I haven't ever used it. So that's going in the episode 500 giveaway along with something else. I'm really mad that I lost my Miller Brothers because it's supposed to just be here somewhere. But it's such a weird knife that I put it to the side. It's kind of like this knife. It's a knife that I put up and I don't have a reason to take out except for novelty purposes. And this one has oil all over it. It's got that two sun goodness. But this is another knife that, man, is very uncomfortable. This thing you would break your hand in a minute trying to use this. So yeah, what a weird little knife. It's a Tucson something or other, and it is sharp, but you'll probably end up cutting yourself before somebody else. Okay, so I say it's sharp. This piece of paper sucks. And the knife needs a good strop. Dang, okay, so maybe it's not very sharp. It'll tear paper. It's got an edge on it. Co-Bunny, it's definitely not a cigar cutter. There's nowhere you could put a cigar to cut it. Or just like any knife, it's brass knuckles. Oh, you got the little single knucks done? That's awesome, Waylon. I was curious about that. If you thought that aluminum would dent. And if you're going to try to make them out of something else. Yeah, it's definitely not it's a specialized knife from Tucson. It's a weird knife. Look, as soon as I brought that knife out, Ed showed up. Definitely not a cigar cutter, is it, Ed? It's called the FAFO or something. FAFO. If you know what that stands for, that's what it's for. I found my pocket that I couldn't find. I thought was lost forever. So we can do pocket checks again. Thank God. Good clip on that one. Yeah, let me show you those knucks real quick before we leave. Modding channel. There you go, Robin. There's the knucks Mr. Whalen is making. And super cool what he used to make them. He used an old aluminum heat shrink. I said heat shrink. Heat sink from a stereo. So if that ain't the coolest repurposing of material that I've seen, I don't know what is. Yeah, super cool, Waylon, to reuse that. That's one of the best uses of that aluminum I've ever seen. There's him measuring the finger hole. Couple of breakdown picks. Arcona and the Mojave. All right, everybody. Appreciate you being here today. An automatic knife with a 6-inch blade. That sounds like another silly knife. Sounds like the AK-47 knife, or that one where the blade slides through the handle. Novelty knife. I don't know why in the heck you'd want a 6-inch automatic. That'd be crazy. But to each his own. I've got a 6-inch blade stiletto. Yeah, I've got one in my car, actually. So you can get these right here. This is what you need. And they're worth every penny. It's $12, and it's a 6-inch stiletto. No, I just don't see the point in large knives. You can't carry them. Yeah, they're cool to have at home. But like I've said, I've carried my espadas, but like swords and katanas and stuff, that's a different kind of knife. Like, there's no practicality to it. Yeah, there's no practical reason to have a sword. Except, to show somebody at your house. You can't use it as a knife on a daily basis. I mean, yeah, they're cool for blades, like, nothing wrong with swords, but they're not the same category as the knives that I like. So having something that big is just kind of silly to me. But like I said, to each his own. You're perfectly okay for liking your swords. I just don't like swords enough to buy one. Anyway, guys, hope everybody has a great Mother's Day. Tell your mother you love her if you're able. If you're not able, then tell her you're thinking about her and you remember the good times. Call your mom if you can, just like Robin said. Brown Sugar, you have a good day. Mr. Ed, hope you have a good day, sir. Mr. Whalen, thank you, sir. If anybody hadn't hit that like button, you could do it on your way out. Have a good one, Mr. Co-Bunny. Eat some chicken today or some fish or something. Maybe YouTube will slack up on your videos. Dang, B. Shady. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Anyway, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all bright and early Monday morning.